I have not finished a sketchbook in a long time, in over a year, I think. A long time, almost a year maybe. And I'd really like to finish one. So this one's close to being finished. There are 14 spreads left in here that are unfinished. So I thought, what a great 14-day challenge to try and finish this sketchbook. Now, it's not a try to finish it as fast as I can. It's finish it over the course of 14 days, because what I really want more than a finished sketchbook is a sketchbooking habit. I want to be in one of my sketchbooks every day for the most part. So this challenge is more to see if I can show up 14 days in a row in this sketchbook. I had it a long time ago, and there's like a lot in here already. Oh, look at that, I did Birdfest last year. Birdfest is on again this year, but I'm not doing it. Oh, and so some of these things are, I flagged some of the spreads where I just like smushed paint or collaged and painted or did weird stuff. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I just have like pre-done backgrounds to add some color and texture. And I was going to go back in and just like sketch on them. Ooh, this one's, yeah. This one's very thick acrylic paint. And anyway. So I kind of went through and like randomly did that. Some of them were already done like that. Some of them I did recently just to give me some options. So what my plan is to use prompts unless I have an idea of what exactly I want to do. I'll use prompts so that I don't have to think about it every day. And then just pick whatever page suits that prompt. So if I'm like, oh, this would be really great for whatever, this really like sunny landscape that I want to do. I don't know. Or no, I need a blank page. You know, that kind of thing. I'll just like, they won't be in order. It will just be whatever suits the thing. So for prompts, I have these cards that I made years ago, probably in 2020, when I was first getting into art and sketchbooking. Well, back into art after a long time. And I was getting into like art materials that I never tried before, like watercolors and gouache and stuff like that. So I wanted to build a sketchbook habit, but I didn't want to have to decide what to do every day. Kind of like the situation I'm in now. So I made these cards. So these ones, some of them I added more recently based on what kind of stuff I'm interested in. Like this fish card, I added more recently because I like drawing fish now. And I took some out that I don't care about. But yeah, this is just like lots of stuff. So a lot of them will say real or imagined. So I think that means like with or without a reference. Like, where I can just invent a species of fish that doesn't actually exist. And these are on Project Life cards, which I mean, I don't remember Project Life. I don't actually know if that was like a popular thing for normal people or just paper crafting nerds like me, but that's how I actually got into paper crafting, was Project Life, and I tried it for a short amount of time, but I collected a lot of cards. And then the rounded corners went out of fashion. Gosh, the drama. So my plan is I'll pick one of these either at random, or I'll go through and pick one that sounds good, or I will just pick my own subject. So there's not really rules to this. I also have cards for which medium or medias, that's not the right word, mediums or media. I don't like saying media for this, even though I say mixed media. I don't know. Just let me be. Let me be. Some of them are things that like I wanted to learn to get better at. Like there's this ink one that I just missed. Anyway, a lot of different ones. And so what they often have is this one. You see it's gouache, but it's a watery wash with blended colors, with shading, and with an outline. Or I guess some sort of line art. I don't have to follow that if I pick the card and I'm just like, you know, I don't want a watery wash, I want an opaque one that I blend the colors, or maybe I don't want shade, whatever. I think I was trying to practice different styles and techniques to learn them, but I'm not so concerned about learning right now as just like playing around. So whatever sounds fun, I'll just like go for it. And then I also have color palettes because sometimes I don't want to have to think about what color to use. So bright colors, unrealistic colors. I'm so out of frame, I don't know. Okay. A complementary color scheme, tertiary colors, a warm color palette, a 3-color limited palette. So they can be, again, it's like if I have something in mind that I want, or if the medium I'm using kind of lends itself to a certain palette based on what I have available. Like, I don't know if I have graphite as one of these, but I might add one that's graphite because I have some water-soluble graphite pencils that I really want to use, and I maybe have used them once or something, but like they're really cool and I want to use them, but they don't have, bright colors. They're just like regular water-soluble graphite, not the graphitint Derwent ones that are colorful. So I guess I could combine those. I don't know. I have options. There's no rules. It's just whatever I want. So what my plan is for this video, because it's going to take place over 14 days, or this challenge is, I think I might pick out some things that will be easy enough to do on camera for this first one and kind of like walk through my process of it, and then maybe include snippets of other days or just like check in every few days to see how it's going or something like that. And then at the end of the 2 weeks, I guess I'll recap and we'll do a flip through of the sketchbook. Okay, so I'm gonna get set up and then I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so this is what I've picked for my first one. I did pick out each of these cards based on kind of what I felt like, what seemed like it would be easy enough to use when I have, the camera stuff set up and I can't use my phone to look at reference pictures and I don't want to get like water and stuff out. So like fairly easy. Fish, I have this sketchbook page from when I went to Tallinn in 2023. There was like a seaplane museum and there's fish there and I took some pictures and these are kind of interpretations of those fish that I really like, the kind of shapes of them and stuff and like the funky colors, but I think I want to exaggerate that a bit, bright colors. And I thought this would be a good base page because it has some like really like hot pink and I have some fluorescent Posca markers for acrylic markers. Now, instead of messy, painterly acrylic markers with no line work, usually I would use, I have some like acrylic brush markers from Artex. Usually that's what I would use for this type of thing, for just kind of like loose, painterly, like when I want to paint but I don't want to get all my painting stuff out, or like I do thumbnails with it a lot. But the Poscas, I have some of these like fat ones, but then also just like medium ones and the regular ones. So there might be a bit more lines going on than this card says, but that's fine. I'm going to start with yellow to kind of block in the fish. So this guy, the yellow has green on it. Whatever. I'm not very careful with my markers. Okay. There's a lot of texture on this paper because of the base that I did, so it's a little hard to get the marks, but that's kind of what the point was. I wanted to see also, this is not like gonna be amazing. This is just fun. Maybe I can also start putting in some of the like background color. Do blue because it's water. I don't have a lot of the big markers, but I feel like they're contaminated. I'm kind of like, I like these for covering large areas and blocking in shapes and stuff. So looking at the colors I used here, a lot of like yellows and oranges and browns with some like bluish accents, I guess. Well, I have a bright orange and kind of a slightly fat one. So I'll kind of go where I see orange stuff. This is honestly why I like sketching from other sketches, is because I'm looking at the colors that I, chose 16 months ago. I don't know how close they were to the original colors, probably not very. But now they're my colors that I'm kind of using as the basis, but I'm also changing them again. This is like how not to do sketchbooks if you want them to look good. You know what? Neon yellow. Just because it's like a fine bullet, you just kind of have to scribble with it. Kind of like how it's a bit muted, and like I like the way muted colors kind of contrast against the bright ones. Ooh, this might be kind of my like detail color, my dark value. Yeah, this would have been easier, I think, to do the like painterly look I was going for if I used the brush markers, but I kind of like... And what I might do is go back over with the light blue once this is kind of dried a bit. Honestly, I think I should actually carve. This guy should be oranger. This corner is just the cleaning off my marker corner, and it's just going to be an artful splodge. Do I want to use this for the line work that I wasn't supposed to do, according to the prompt? Or I'm into this dark bluish. This fish's expression is very different than my original, so I think I need to like go over that, but I'm just kind of dry brushing with see, still derpy, but I think a little bit better. Kind of matches the vacant expressions of these other fish. Just kind of adding some more marks of a different variety. Oh, I like this. Yeah, okay. The dots are what make it for me. I think that's it. So I'm going to put the date. And I think by looking at this, I'll be able to know what I used for it. So, but yeah, like it does have a lot of like actual dimensional texture to it from the acrylic paint that I laid down really thick underneath. But because I used Posca on top, it's matte, so the pages won't stick together like regular acrylic paint. So that's nice. So this was about half an hour to do all of this, and I kind of like felt weird about it being on camera, so it probably would be faster if I was just doing my own thing. I am actually happy with this. I know this is not going to be everyone's taste, so if you don't like it, that's fair. But yeah, again, I'm not trying to make good art in this sketchbook. I'm just trying to have fun making art again. Yeah, I guess we'll see what day 2 brings. Just wanted to jump on here quickly. I finished my day 2 sketches or sketchbook spread, and I decided I wanted to match up a bunch of cards. So each one of these has a subject, a medium, and a color scheme, and I kind of like that better than just randomly picking them every day, but also it means I don't have to decide a whole set every day. I can just decide, oh, today I'm going to do flowers, and then I can see, well, what medium does that mean I'm using? Probably gouache. Yeah. And I kind of pick stuff where it's like, you know what, I like doing this subject in this medium, or I like using this color palette with this medium, or whatever. Like, I have art supplies here, and I have mixed media because I'm getting some new art supplies this week, and I want to draw them and color them with the actual materials that they are. So that kind of like determined it for me. But yeah, I'm kind of like, I'm excited about these now, and like, I don't actually remember which materials and colors go with each one, so it's still kind of a mystery that happens when I pick it. So I'll just decide, I'm going to do animal, and then find out what that entails for the day. And then I can, change to a different one if I don't like it. But this is kind of a happy medium between completely random prompts that then I don't feel inspired by, and having to come up with an idea every single day myself. So just thought I'd throw that out there. If anyone else wants to try doing something like this, like just cut up squares of paper, you don't have to use Project Life cards, and make your own sets of card prompts based on what you like to draw and what you like to use and what you want to learn. So yeah, I'm excited to get to do this. It kind of makes me want to jump ahead and just do like all the rest of them right away, but that's not the point. If I want to do other sketchbook stuff, I have other sketchbooks that I can fill in the meantime, but this is a once per day project because it's a habit. But this is something I might carry forward. It might become part of my sketching habit, is just, every couple weeks, just like put a bunch of these together and then pick and choose as I wish. Yeah. So the 14 days is up. It was actually up a while ago, so like 2 weeks after the 2 weeks is over, and I'm finally sharing the results. I did finish it within the 14 days. I actually finished it in less than 14 days, which I wasn't supposed to do, but I got a little over eager some of the days and I did more than one. But I did end up doing sketchbooking for 14 days in a row because I still carried on for a couple days in another sketchbook. So the spirit was alive anyway. So I'm just going to go through the spreads that I did for this challenge, and then maybe I'll do a flip through the whole sketchbook another time. But I labeled which one I did in which order because they're kind of all over the place. So let's just get started. I don't have footage of me actually doing all of these except for the first one, which you've already seen. just because it's just way too much hassle and it made me nervous, and I just wanted to be able to do them on my own. And I did get some like little like snippets of footage of just like what the spread looked like before I started, you know, if it already had paint on it or something, and what prompt cards I got in case I don't remember off the top of my head while we're showing. Yeah, it'll be in that like clip, so I'll just like put those over top. The first one obviously is the fish. Actually, you know, I'm gonna leave these here as much as I want. I'm finally recording this video because I really want to get these like tabs off, but I'm leaving them on in case something's wrong with this footage and I have to re-record it. So yeah, the fish, which, I mean, maybe it was my favorite one of the whole 2 weeks. I don't know, because like I will say it got a little depressing at times where there were spreads that I liked, like this one, and there were spreads that I did not, but it's all good. It wasn't about that. Yeah, so this was the acrylic markers. The subject matter was fish and bright colors or something like that. And this one was, I think it was alcohol markers, muted colors, and a place I'd like to visit, like a landscape of a place I'd like to visit. I think that was the prompt. And this is a sketch based on a sketch that I did based on a screenshot that I did when I was playing Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild. It's one of those games. It's not accurate, but it's also like not the colors of, you know, the game, but I had a muted color scheme, so I liked this one. I have to keep looking here. Okay. 3, this one was also a video where I got all these new art supplies and I was testing them out, so I think art supplies, mixed media. It may be, my color scheme might have been realistic colors because I was just using the actual colors of each item. So that's realistic in that sense. But it's not like hyper realism, which is not a thing I'm interested in doing. So these ones were gouache in a limited palette. I think it was like 5 colors, which I did, you know, mix some of the colors together to get a few more shades, but landscape of place I've been, or a postcard of a place I've been. And so I did a couple that look kind of like postcards from when we went to Talon in 2023, which these based on photos that I took, even though they weren't the best photos, and I wish I could have used references online, but I don't know. Now these ones are from online references. This was landscapes with water, I think was the theme. Using Neocolor 2, but without water. So landscapes with water, but not using water in it. I think this was on, the pages already had paint on them, so there's like some peeking through. So there's like an orange background there, peeking through that, and I think it was a, I don't remember the color scheme was. It was either triadic or secondary colors. Maybe it was secondary colors because it's like purple, green, and orange. I think. But I really like these. This one was like based on the colors of the photo, roughly, and this one was completely different from the colors of the photo, so I just kind of liked doing both. Okay. Here we get to when I started getting unhappy with them, but that's fine. This was an urban landscape, I think. This is a photo I took in Brighton a few years ago, from a hotel window, and there was a bird in the windowsill. So it's not a giant bird taking over this street, but it kind of looks like that. I think it was water-soluble graphite was my medium, but I had, I think acrylic ink already on the background, so the pink is all that, and then the color palette was limited, maybe it was like limited 3-color palette or something. So I had like the graphite color and this like green water soluble graphite and then the pink background or something. I think like that. Anyway, not my favorite, but eh. Oh, this one. Yeah. So I remember doing this one on the couch because I was like really lazy and I didn't want to do it that day. And it was just trees using, I think markers was the medium, though I did kind of a mixed media with pencils as well. And I don't remember what the colors were. I wrote these down somewhere and then, but it'll be in the footage. I usually showed what the cards were, so it would say, I don't know if this was like, no, I'm not even going to guess, but not very bright colors. I'm pretty sure the actual photo that I based this on, which was one of my photos, it was a lot more bright than this, so for some reason, oh, and it also had a painted background, so yeah, I was using the Ecoline watercolor markers, which went over this acrylic paint fairly well. It was kind of surprising. So yeah, so that was 7. 8. So 8 was Inktense pencils, or Inktense in general. I think I used pencils and the pans. And it was a split complementary color scheme, which is a lot harder than I thought it would be. I had to look online for like inspiration of like what actually looks good together, because like I started, just, color wheel in my mind and picking out split complementary, and I'm like, that doesn't go well. But the theme was also outfit of the day. I chose outfit of the day, and then I also chose stationery because I only had one outfit and I wanted to fill this side. But I actually wanted to pick out an outfit that was those colors, so I was somewhat limited by what I had. So I ended up going kind of like blue with reddish orange and a yellowish orange. Kinda. I mean, yeah, like here's like, this is like teal. It's a little cheeky. It's not quite a true like split complementary, but I feel like it's not one of my favorite color schemes I've now learned. So that's kind of what this is all about, right? Just like learning things, trying things out. This one was gouache. I think the background already had something on it. Actually, yeah, this one had some bleed through from the alcohol markers on this side, and then this side I put some ink on it just to give it some background. So this is gouache and then like pencil on top. And I think it was furniture. And this is a photo of a little booth at a cafe or something that I went to. I think this was in like York many years ago. It makes it sound like I travel a lot. I travel some, but not tons. But like, that's when I mostly take photos. I only take photos when I travel, so all my photos are that. And then this is just a bookshelf I made up kind of based on my bookshelf shape, but yeah. And then I think it was like warm color palette or something, which I kind of like how this turned out. I don't think I liked it very much at the time, so maybe it's good that I took a couple weeks away just to give me some. This was jelly gouache I used because I have hardly used it, and I had to reconstitute it because it's been a couple years, but it was fine. And I think I need to like practice using it more because I liked it because it's like there's so much paint and it's so like relatively inexpensive for the amount of paint you get, but then it's like I still am too scared to use it. I don't know, man. Okay, 10. Oh, right. So this was the day when I was like, I really want to do another one. Maybe, I think because I like wasn't super happy with that last one at the time. And I was like, the next one I'm doing is like fan art, and I'm using acrylic markers and I'm making it all like painterly. And in my mind, where is it? In my mind, it was going to be something like this, or these ones that I did last year, and I really liked those. But there's this thing that happens in my brain when I start doing fan art, which these are from Dragon Age the Veilguard, if you did not know. I feel like they're recognizable enough if you do know who they are, but yeah, this thing happens when I start doing fan art where it's like I want it to look good. So like this is like, these don't look quote unquote good. They're wonky and messy and kind of just more the suggestion of a face, and it's like I love that. But I wanted these to like look good apparently. And the thing is like I don't think I can make a person look good when I just like dive in with like I just dove in with I think I just like used this had like a painted background already, and I just like, used a chunky acrylic marker to just block in the rough shape of the person silhouette, and then I just went in with markers and started like painting them. That's apparently not something I'm good at. I usually need to draw faces first, and often I need to draw them digitally so I can tweak the heck out of them until they actually look okay. So this was a lesson in maybe keeping my expectations a little bit more in line with reality, and also that maybe don't try and do like super artistic fan art when I feel this need to like make it look good and make it look like the character, and then I end up going too far. And this is like, oh, and it was I think this was like was this the tertiary color palette or the triad? It was something where it's like purple, maybe it was purple, green, teal, whatever, and orange. And so I ended up having difficulty shading because, like, I don't know. And then it got all muddy, and I'm not thrilled about that one, but it's fine. It's fine. Oh yeah, and this one, I think this is the next day. Yeah. And I was like, I'm going to redeem myself with birds. Colorful birds. And this page already had like yellowy green paint kind of smeared all over it. So I was like, I'll do yellow birds. And I have my like bird flashcard references. And I was like, this will be great. And I mostly kind of, and I think I used Neocolor too with water. Like stuff I'm familiar with, stuff that it's okay if it looks a bit wonky, whatever. And then I sort of like carved out the shape of the birds with the pink around it or whatever. I think that the Neocolor didn't cover over the paint as well as I'd hoped. And so it just kind of, I don't know. I don't know why this disappointed me at the time, and now I look at it and I'm still disappointed, so it is what it is. I don't know. I did the day. I did it. It is complete. That's what counts. Okay, there's 12. This day was, I think, like leaves or botanicals or something with watercolor, and maybe this was complimentary, so I picked leaves that were like green and pink, and just like a variety of types that I just found on Pinterest. It was fun. This was a lot of fun, you know? A for fun. That's all I can say about it. I don't want to be a meanie to my own poor little sketchbook pages. Oh god, okay. This was ink, I think, was the like medium. So I used a fountain pen ink with ink that was not waterproof because I wanted to kind of like blend it out and get like shading. And I think there was ink already on the background of this. And this was on the back of the other alcohol markers. So I kind of put ink over everything. This like gold ink. Went over, drew it. This may have been like monochrome, might have been the color scheme. And the theme was any photo on my phone. And you know what photo I happen to have on my phone? It was a screenshot from Skyrim. I have a lot of screenshots from Skyrim because I like drawing landscapes and cityscapes and stuff from video games. It's fun. I don't know. I don't actually go places in real life, even though it sounds like I do. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm like I was trying to like get into like loose pen sketching, and it's fine. I don't know. Oh, we're in the last one, number 14. This one was alcohol markers. I think it was some sort of portrait was the like prompt, and oh gosh, I don't know what the colors were. This was the color scheme. For some reason, oh, it was unrealistic colors. That was the prompt, I think. And so I've had hair this color, so it's not completely unrealistic, but it's not, a natural color. And yeah, and then this like neon yellow that I am obsessed with. I've just been putting it on everything. So yeah, and I was like, at some angles, I don't hate it. Like, I think if I like tilt it, it's a little less terrible. I don't know, I can't see my viewfinder, so I don't know. But head on, it's a little rough, but I didn't have it propped up when I was drawing. This is again why I draw faces digitally, and then like, I use the tool. The one on Procreate. Lets you move stuff with the little push and pull and... Oh my gosh, I'm so tired. Okay. Anyway. This is my least favorite, so it's not like I ended on the worst one. But I think I started with the best one. So, whatever. I got it done. Okay, I didn't fill this because I don't like working in there, and I don't think I did it at the beginning either. So I don't consider that incomplete. I don't usually draw on the back page either. I usually have swatches here, but because I've used this sketchbook paper before, I didn't need to do swatches, so I had that page because I had accidentally miscounted, and I counted this as one of the 14 that I had left. And then I'm like, I don't like working in this page, and so I just did it on the back. Yeah. So, and like most of these are in the second half of the sketchbook. This was like the first half stuff, but yeah, I guess I'll do a flip through of this at some point. Maybe I'll record it the same day and it will look like the exact same setup and lighting and nails. I don't know. I'm also very lazy, so I might not. Yeah, I've been putting this off. I don't know why, I just really didn't want to set up my recording equipment. Because I'd packed it all away when somebody was coming over, and I didn't want them to see, like, my microphone stand and everything just, like, hanging out. So, like, I had to dismantle everything and put it away. And that was, like, 2 weeks ago, and then I just never got it back out. Yeah. ADHD is fun. Anyway. Finally got this done. And, yeah, I haven't done a lot of sketchbooking since this, I will admit. Just because I started getting really discouraged when the first few days I liked what I was making, and then afterwards it was kind of a plummet, and I didn't like it, and I was trying to remind myself, like, liking it is not the point of finishing it. Like, making art is the point in itself. Yeah, I'd like to learn things and improve and stuff like that, but like, making art is scientifically good for your brain. Like, doing it is better than not doing it. It doesn't really matter what it looks like. So I was just trying to kind of let go of that, and I ended up making another little, like, crappy sketchbook out of... This is a old, like, cover of another paper pad, and I just have, like, crappy sketch paper in it, and I was just... Yeah, I've been kind of filling that with, like, ugly art. Like, sometimes I'll just, like, intentionally go as ugly as I can. Wait. Yeah, like, this is the first one. It's fine. Like, this is like, I was just like, I was tired of accidentally making ugly art in the sketchbook, so I was like, I'm just gonna make ugly art on purpose, and it's quite fun. I highly recommend that, and I'm enjoying filling it out, like a couple spreads here and there, and yeah, but I'm hoping this year to finish up any sketchbooks that I started before 2024. Because I hardly did any sketchbooking at all in 2024, except some like things where I would draw mostly like fan art digitally, print it out, trace it into a coil bound sketchbook with marker paper, and do coloring it with markers. Like, that wasn't really sketchbooking, that was just doing illustrations that are bound in a sketchbook. So yeah, I have a couple that were started before then. I have one that's mostly just swatching and thumbnailing and stuff, so I'm not super concerned about that, but I do have this one, and it's hardly, oh yeah, see I have some backgrounds, but it's hardly been used since December 2023, so I'm hoping I can fill this out this year and not go, a whole year without finishing a sketchbook again. But yeah, I mean, I don't regret last year being kind of a not very much art year, because I did a heck of a lot of knitting and crochet. I made a lot of things, and it was so much fun. And I like wrote partial drafts of like half a dozen novels. So like, I think, and I took a course on publishing, and I'm in the process of doing all that. Like, I had other things, creative pursuits that were interesting to me, and so I don't regret that this stuff kind of fell to the side, but I would like to bring it back, because I really like to be able to have, a sketchbooking habit and a writing habit at the same time, where they're both important to me and both things that I do every day, and that's what I'm trying to work on right now. So this was a good start, and I'm hoping to continue more sketchbooking moving forward. Yeah, I guess that's it. Okay.